Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So, we have to get 10 more play 10 more minions that cost 3 or more? 5 or more. Gosh, that text is really small. Wow. And then win 5 games and then win 1 druid game. If we don't get 5 victories in here, then I'll move on without it. I'm also trying to get to rank 18, so we're teetering in standard play on the druid on rank 19. I want to get up to 18 because that's our goal. Is it worth the effort to go any higher than that? No, it's not. It's not really even worth the effort to get to 18. But I'm trying to make some progress here. I'm trying to gain some skill. Of course, there's only so much skill I can gain while I'm sitting here also talking and distracting myself. And also, a major part of it, I assume, is I just don't play this game enough. See, that's another issue where if I was going to get into Overwatch, I would have to play it so much. There's a lot of talk that I've noticed. Maybe it's just the people I watch about the transactions in Overwatch and how they, the microtransactions and how they suck. And I think there's certainly a very good argument to make there because Overwatch, they want you to pay $60 to play this game, where Hearthstone, all you had to do was download it. So they've gotten greedier even in that small amount of time. Let's go ahead and hit this and see what happens.
Bathe in flames.
Let's see. What do I want to do? Play this. And then plus 4 attack. No, how about plus 4 health? In taunt.
Time waits for no one.
In the turn. Right there. So yeah, one of the aspects that doesn't get talked about when you're getting cosmetic elements too is that does change the game. If you're playing a first-person shooter and the character that all the characters for some reason, let's just say they were all bright red completely, just 100% bright red character models. That would be really easy to see unless the world they were running around was also bright red. Now, compare that to if let's say all these characters were running around a bright red, the characters were bright red, and then the background is bright blue. So it's a really simple game, is what we're saying. What happens when you're trying to target somebody, when all of a sudden one of the characters get a skin that is that same shade of bright blue as the background? That character is invisible, and thus way more difficult to target, if not impossible. Now this is an incredibly simple example of something that totally does happen on a percentage. So you may very well never experience it yourself, but somebody somewhere is going to experience it. Now it's the same thing. It's the same thing when you get a real skinned person that, like some character that has multicolors and they're running around the background that has multicolors. but then there's 20 skins. I guarantee you there's at least one of those skins that's blends in a little bit better, that is a little bit darker, a little bit harder to see in the shadows, and so it's just cosmetic. It's never just cosmetic. Unless it's a thing where only you personally see the cosmetics and nobody else sees it, and it's never been that case. And they wouldn't make it that case because the whole point of the cosmetic things is to have a have-nots and a haves mentality, so encourage people to play. Same as the gold cards in Hearthstone. Like, now, arguably in Hearthstone, you could almost make an argument that saying having gold cards is just cosmetic a lot more than you could say Overwatch or any first-person shooter, but it still has a psychological effect. If I come up against a gold character and all his cards are gold, I am way more afraid than if I come up to a character that's not gold and has the exact same cards that aren't in gold form. Because gold means, your gold character means you have won 500 games on that character alone, and gold cards means you've opened a lot of packs, so you probably have a lot more cards than me. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is it's just greedy. It really is. Overwatch looks like a great game that didn't really need any of that. It could have just charged $60 and then charged for DLC when it got added. Or given out the maps and charged DLC for... I mean, even if it was just a straight flip, if they charged DLC for the cosmetics instead of microtransactions, that would be slightly better. I would rather pay a DLC one-time fee and be guaranteed the costumes I would get versus opening loot boxes and just trying to get more and more money. In Hearthstone, there's theoretically a finite number of packs you need to open. You probably couldn't put $1 million into Hearthstone and still try to get and still not have every single card. You would almost certainly have every single card if you put $1 million in it. Probably a lot less than $1 million if I'm gonna be honest. I want to play this guy, but he's gonna die. I'm gonna kill him. Totally gonna kill him. But as far as Overwatch, yeah, you could arguably, since it's just random on random and it's full of these sprays that, as far as I can tell, nobody cares about the sprays, nobody cares about the
where shall I strike?
nobody cares about the voice models. They only slightly care about the poses and the skins. It's kind of ridiculous that you have to buy poses too. So all that controversy about Tracer having a pose where she is just like totally framed in an A-frame facing backwards so you could see her behind. All of that is not even by default available to everybody. The replacement pose that they get, you have to get in the loot box. That's just ridiculous, really. I wouldn't want to buy poses, but I would want to use them. There's a lot of elements in games I would like to have as extras, and I'd like to be able to use, but once you start to put any monetary value on it, I'm cheap enough to say, no, hey, what's going on with this? Why is the animation here not animating the sides? So this guy is playing every single card he'd ever played, trying to see if he can win. I mean, he's is almost.
Move quickly.
If it had done. Jeez, if it had done 10 to the face, I could have won. That's kind of sucky.
For the wilds.
That was kind of sucky. But like I've said before, as far as Overwatch, to wrap that up, it wasn't a game I was ever gonna play anyways, so it doesn't really bother me. The only games I play that have microtransactions are in them are cell phone games. And, cell phone games really are like, I'm gonna play them just because they're on my phone for maybe a year if it's a really long game, but probably less than a year, and then I'm gonna be done with it and I'm never gonna play it again. We're falling backwards in the ranking here. So right now I'm playing Adventure Town, and I'm probably gonna stick with that, but I have broken the curve on that because I had to effectively use a hacked version just to recover my progress. Now I have an infinite number of gems, and that's destroyed the real challenge of the game. There still is some challenge to it though.
I must protect the
I
wild.
still haven't gotten up to the level that I need to get to, and I really won't until I have played a lot more, just a lot of button clicks. I'm playing Clicker, Doomsday Clicker, which feel like I'm gonna get either bored with or just have completely like succeeded at a lot faster than I probably should. And then I'm playing Clash Royale, which I'm again either going to get bored of or completely maxed out. There is something on Clash Royale in particular where you could just hit a level where you can't succeed any further because you're fighting against other people. Let's go rid of that guy.
I serve the fire.
So I want to just see if I can hold off for as long as possible. See, this one would do 2 damage.
For the wilds.
So, yeah, I guess we could get back to the survey that YouTube asked me to take. They were very interested in hoping I would say that that they were super innovative when they really aren't. They were.
Behold the rage of the Firelands.
They were definitely hoping I would say that YouTube is the best for creators, which it isn't, and I'm not willing to say it is, even if there really isn't a better option. Just because all the options are terrible. Just because I don't want to go to Vimeo. Just for simple time reason, and that's what I don't understand. The only reason I don't go to Vimeo or YouTube or Facebook or Dailymotion or any of those other potential places where I could post videos, it's simply because of time management. Here.
Bathe in flames.
So, but yeah, they were slightly concerned about that, and I'm like, well, you should be concerned. Just because you're the biggest doesn't mean you're the best, doesn't mean you shouldn't improve a lot. There's a lot of improvements there. I said, look, intros and outros. I need to be able to establish this is what my channel's intro is, and this is what my channel's outro is. I want all these videos to be able to play the intro and outro when they're not watching a playlist, and when they are watching a playlist, skip the intros and outros because they're already committed to watching my videos, and so then I don't need to introduce people, do I? Or maybe give them an intro as soon as they start watching the playlist, but then not the episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't need to continue the repetitive elements of the game, of the creation. And I need those to be separate videos so that I can say, I've updated my intro, I've updated my outro. I don't want to have to download every single video I've ever made, put a new intro and outro on it, upload it again, and then try to get back all those views I've already gotten from it, which would never happen. So I want to be able to update that content. I want to be able to through the bulk actions, label what game I'm playing in the video manager, and I can't do it. It's just not an option. I want to get rid of TubeBuddy. Quite simply, I just don't want to have to use TubeBuddy to have features that should be by default built into the YouTube Video Manager. I want a better video editor that's actually more useful.
Give that minion a turn to get ready.
Simple. I want to be able to serialize videos, so I can have a special place where I can put a video and say this is episode 1 of this series, and it isn't just something in the title, because that messes with searches. Like, a good example of this is Telltale Games. Let's go to Wild. We've already lost this, so we might as well go play Wild now. My Telltale series, no, Game of Thrones series, episode 6 has way more views than any of my other Game of Thrones episodes. Now, why is it that episode 6 has way more views than anything else? It's because Game of Thrones season 6 is out right now. That's what's airing. So people go into the search, they type in Game of Thrones season 6 or Game of Thrones just the number 6, they get suggested episode 6 of my series. I don't want episode 6 of my series suggested to anybody. I have enough series where I'd be much happier if only episode 1 of everything was suggested, or the playlist was suggested. Even better,
I can see.
give me the playlist. Oh, well, we got at least a victory there. Win streak bonus, too. Maybe we'll get up to 18 here. Let's continue down that path and hope we continue to get lucky. So we're trying to play big guys, too. That's the other quest. I may just play a lot of stuff off screen. I also want to organize my series. It's like my video manager list goes on and on and on. I would bet at least 60 pages with 30 videos maximum on each page. It just goes forever and ever and ever, all the way down back to the very first video I've ever posted. And you just have to scroll through all of it, unless you know what you're looking for and can type in the search box, which the search box mostly works, although there is a complete inability to find videos where you have removed audio. So if you wanted to remove, like, if a content ID thing came up and you wanted to say, forget it, I won't do it for now, I'll just remove the audio, you can't ever find that video again and say, no, I want the original audio back this time I'm gonna just file for an appeal out since they rejected my dispute and see if they'll sue me. Which, particularly if I'm not making videos, I think might be a decent thought to do. Gain 2 mana crystals to draw 2 cards. I'm just gonna do this and then return.
For the
So,
wild.
there's no way to find that at all. That's about the only thing. You can't really search by blocked videos. The content ID system, certainly I talked about, and how it made some nightmare. It's worth mentioning, it's not worth me on the survey harping on it completely. Because obviously they don't care. Obviously they can't do anything about it, or they don't care, or both.
Job's done.
This will be an interesting choice whether he decides to kill my guy. Did I do anything else in the survey really? No, I guess I didn't. There's a lot. I gave them my email so they could contact me if they want more. They asked if I'd received the play button and if I was aware of the play rewards. I think you get the play rewards only after a certain number, and I'm like, well, I think I know what it is, and at some point I probably will get a play award button, but I am of the opinion I won't get it until I have 100,000 on. Oh darn it! I really could have used that card.
Behold the rage of the fire.
So yeah, the play button probably will come eventually, because I almost certainly am going to have 100,000 on how to set up Hearthstone. Oh, darn it. Darn. This, plus 1 health. This, plus 1 health. This summons 2 saplings.
Nothing but ash.
So plus 1 health, plus 1, then plus 2 attack. Interesting. I think we can get these guys powered up rather nicely. Return all cards to the minions. Ooh!
My hand is too full.
Well,
The rage of the firelands. Job's done.
well, now you've gone and done it, haven't you?
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the power!
Let's see, choose give a minion plus 4 if you want. There we go. This one. And this one. And then
Nothing
take this
but
one out.
ash.
Here we go. So next turn, do this and this for 5 and this for 8. And I think I've got a victory here. play a 5 though. That's gonna be kind of a problem, is just playing big ticket things instead of playing small ticket things to get the victories. The two quests are kind of at odds of each other. I certainly could play this 5-mana creature and see some progress there, but this one, let's see, this one, and this one, attack, attack, attack. Could have done 6 extra damage.
Nothing but ash.
See, when that deck works, it works well. It's just, the question is, can I keep it working? One more victory. One more victory and I'd probably get to a level 41, and one more victory I'll get to rank 18. And so, it still really is an issue though, where I want both people, both standard and wild, at 18, because then I want it to drop back down, and I guess eventually I need to continue working my way upward. Let's see, what else is going on? I'm surprised there have been even as many announcements as there has been, considering E3 is only a few days away. I think they would hold back on that.
I must protect the
There was a good deal for like a refurbished Xbox One for $190 that I saw on eBay, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's starting to get down there. It's starting to get down there to the price. $190, if I had it, I would have probably gotten that, because then I could go through my list of like backwards compatible games and see how many of those actually are backwards compatible. So I have probably 60 Xbox 360 games. If it starts really getting down to the level of yeah, that 49 of those are actually playable on Xbox One, that's great. That eliminates the need to get one more Xbox 360, which probably there will be 360s all over the place for at least another 5 years. There were some consoles that stuck around just fine. Deal 2. Or sounds in here.
Bathe in flames.
We'll do this and see what happens. Now, getting an Xbox One for it is a weird position to be in until they start announcing what this new Xbox One is. Getting one for 190, if in a year's time I still haven't used it for my channel at all, and on top of that there's more issues. Yeah, it would be weird. It's definitely a strange consideration.
For the wild.
Let's go ahead and hit this one in the face and see if that activates it. Nope. So I summoned a monster and I just attacked the face. Neither one of those things activated this trap. So I imagine playing a spell. So the coin. Let's see. Interesting.
safeguard the land.
Duplicate, okay. Just trying to figure out what that card was. So, yeah. I think I'm still really to a more of a level where I'd rather spend $100 on an Xbox 360 than spend $200 on an Xbox One. Like, alright, this is not gonna happen, so we need to go ahead and do this. And start hitting the face. Darn it, flame strike. Darn me. Do 5 to a minion or 7/1/1. All plussed up, 1+1.
Job's done.
End the turn. Another flame strike. Darn it. It's like, wow.
Spectacular.
Let's see. Deal 5 to a minion. And 8 armor. And that. And
For the wilds.
attack. I kinda want this victory. One more victory, we get up to 18. Let's see. What else? What else? I've been watching people play Sky Factory, I think is what it's called. Like, Skyblock, as far as I understand, is where you play just vanilla Minecraft or something closer to vanilla Minecraft, and in the sky, and you start with 1 block, and
Bathe in flame.
And Sky Factory is more of a much more elements to it, extra mods
For
and
the
stuff.
wilds.
And so it's up to like 2.5,
Job's
and
done.
it's really the same thing over and over again though. It's like you start immediately trying to grow trees and get dirt and use wood to expand the platform, and then pretty quickly into it you've made a cobblestone generator by making lava and water and mixing those together, and you have a mob grinder, and after about that point then you're into some mods and extra stuff that's so far away from
For the wilds.
what basic Minecraft is that it is really not even recognizable things. You're growing plants that don't exist, you know, smelting metals within a mod that doesn't exist. It's like very quickly you get away from basic Minecraft, and it is also kind of questionable why you're doing all this in the sky. It's just creating a, well, what it really fights against is being artistic, because you just won't have that almost infinite amount of blocks to build with. It really fights against redstone because there's so many mods in it that you're not gonna do the basic redstone stuff. Minecraft has a new expansion out. They added a couple new mobs, which they probably should have added those extra mobs in the fight update, but
Furion versus
they
Chaos.
broke it up a little bit.
Victory or death.
And
must protect
they
the
have now
wild.
structure blocks, which structure blocks will certainly have fixed one of my designs by a lot better. Instead of having to use relative clone commands or absolute clone commands to make the magic box, which was one of my designs that I started and never finished. I've been so bad about playing Minecraft, and I'm not gonna get back into it.
Job done.
Pretty much, I've also watched Captain Sparkles, and he's covered several little level maps that are unique things unto themselves. But again, I don't feel like I'm gonna
For the
do any of
wild.
those. Maybe one or two of them looked interesting, and that was it. But I still want to watch other people play Minecraft, so that's about it. I looked at YouTube Gaming, and oh man, there's so few people streaming. It's like the way it's presented is still kind of really bad, and even when you're there and it tells you how many people are streaming anything. It's like there's 100+ people streaming Minecraft, and then the next video is like there's 60
the
people
wild.
streaming this video, and the next video down it's like there's 10 people streaming right now this video, because nobody's streaming on YouTube video games. If you're gonna live stream, you're gonna go to Twitch. That's just how it is. It really was just competition for the sake of competition. Here we go.
Behold the rage of the Firelands.
Play
I
this.
must safeguard the land.
So notice this character doesn't have the option of targeting two characters. He can only silence and do 2 damage to both. That's an interesting twist to it. Now I desperately need, oh man, execute. That sucks. So that play did not help me as much as I would have liked it. I guess I could play this, deal 5 damage, or there's no reason to do either one of those. They wouldn't do
Nature's
anything.
wrath. For the wilds.
What else have I been watching? I got into a new channel that's doing E3 predictions. Probably a waste of time. In fact, that is literally the opposite of what I said I wanted to do.
I have an
I
axe.
didn't want to waste time looking at predictions or live streaming announcements. I wanted to instead focus heavily on just like recording during that time and then coming
For the
back later.
wilds.
I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 damage to this guy and then rage him because I'm a fool. That was dumb. So yeah, I'm wasting time on predictions, although I'm being a little bit better about like podcasting things, listening to those not live. I'm trying to get away from any appointment entertainment. I want to watch it when I have free time, when I'm tired, keep things really balanced as much as possible.
The land serves me. Job done.
And I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at that, so that helps. I also though still feel like I'm never gonna get to the point where I'm recording 8 hours of video a day. I'm doing 5, maybe 6 hours of video a day, and there certainly is probably at least half a day, if not one whole day, in which I don't get. uh, get but half that much progress done. I'm gonna try and get as many characters on the board as possible. If I'm gonna give +2/+2, do I want to kill this guy or do I want to let this guy die at his own hands? I'm just gonna let him die at his own hands. If only I could silence this character, that'd be really nice. One damage to everybody. That was no good. Let's see. This guy. See, I could do damage to my face, but I don't think that would be a wise move. Let's instead do 711s here. Do this. And do this.
For the wilds.
Well, this is going to be the last recording we do for this recording session, and this will be the last video, even though I haven't gotten all the well played.
Well played.
So, like, I've got some more grinding to do. This is a good example of where I will just sit here
The land serves me.
and spend my effort. Let's go ahead and give her this guy.
For the wilds.
Let's spend my time wisely. I'll listen to podcasts as I play more. Making progress on Titan Souls, so I need to do a new recording of that too.
The blade be thirsty.
I imagine I'll make maybe 2 or 3 more recordings there, or it will go very long, and because I want to get those final boss kills on footage, I'll put maybe 6, 7, 8 more videos, recordings going in there of just like all the struggle to beat the final 2 bosses. Because I really do want to have that part at least on screen. So much of that game hasn't been on screen.
Feel my wrath.
See, he's stuck now. Even though he's got way more health, I have a 10-10, he has nothing he can do. I can build up a little bit of armor and do damage. I can do 10 to the face damage. As long as I draw 1 card that's better than the card he has. He has 13 cards, I have 16 cards. Come on. I'll also be playing my last 2 large things. 5 wisps or give a minion +5/+5 taunt. Let's give +5/+5 taunt.
For the wilds. Job's done.
More protection now and more damage. I don't know what he can do. There's not a lot he can do. Hey, we ended right about the almost exactly the right second on time. So like I still need to play 8 characters that are 5 or more and win 2 more victories. So if I had more to talk about, I could easily go a third recording. But man, hopefully next recording session, E3 will be in the swing of it and we'll have more to talk about. But right now, there's nothing, so I'm just gonna end it. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.